family? It's Tommy Bigg Vic. We back in here with another video. What I want to do really quick is I just want to show you guys some of the basic fundamentals that you definitely, I feel like, should have. These are like must-haves that you're definitely going to need when you get your box truck, or if you're thinking about getting a box truck. These are just some things that you definitely want to already have, you know what I'm saying, in play or ordering them. I'm also going to leave the links to these essentials that you should have for your truck. Number one, I feel like one of the first things you should be getting is this tool right here. Can-Do Scan Tool. Can-Do Scan Tool. I have a link to it so you can go get that. It's like, I paid $600 for this when I bought this scan tool. This scan tool has gotten me out of jams, has gotten my truck out of stages where I did not have to call a tow truck because of this tool. So just to give you an example, sometimes codes will pop up on your truck, right? And when a code pops up on your truck, what you're gonna need is a tool that can either override that code, because it may put your truck in a state to where it prevents it from causing further damage, but I always feel like it is set up for you to call a tow truck in a sense if you don't have one of these scan tools. I've been able to scan codes on my truck that have told me what the problem was. I will look up the issue and I will fix it myself most times. Now, when it came to DEF issues, those are just some things that I don't, prefer to do myself. So yes, I will take it to the shop. So there was a time that I didn't have this tool where my truck derated down to 5 miles per hour. And guess what was the cause of it? The DEF system. Yes, that's why I do not like DEF systems on these trucks. I feel like it creates the most problems for you when you do have, when we do have these DEF issues on our trucks. Most issues come from DEF. So there's a recent issue I had with my truck was my transmission speed sensor. So I found out, I changed the one, the sensor came back on, the light came back on, but I found out by going to the Allison transmission shop, a tech basically said, hey, you have 3 of the same sensors that go on this transmission. Instead of replacing one, just go ahead and replace all 3 of them. So after I replaced all 3 of them, my issue went away. Well, guess what? Guess where it started from? It started from the Can-Do Scan Tool. I used this tool and the tool told me that, hey, transmission issue, it's not shifting out, but basically you need to change your turbine speed sensor. And I found that out by having this tool. Had I not had this tool, I would have had to take my truck to a shop, let them diagnose it for $350, then have them replace 3 $21 sensors that solved my problem for me. So that could have been a $1,500 repair, $800, $900. I don't know what they would have charged me for that particular repair, but that came in handy. So something else you guys may be aware of. So if you don't know, these caps can get stolen, right? So one of my caps did get stolen off of the truck. It just disappeared. I don't know, I didn't take it off, but it disappeared. So I ended up having to go to International and replace this cap. This cap cost me about 80 bucks from the International dealership. Yes, I probably could have went to Amazon and got a cheaper one, but I wanted the factory OEM cap. So keep an eye on your caps, especially when you guys go OTR. Make sure you keep an eye on your caps. My cap has a chain on the inside of it to keep it from, falling off or whatever. If I'm ever riding and it's too loose and it comes loose or whatever. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. They also sell caps with locks on them. So that's something that you guys want to definitely keep your eyes on. Keep your eyes on your caps, right? So that's something that I would highly recommend getting, a real good solid gas cap. All right, so a lot of y'all guys ask me, like, it's one of the top questions I get, especially when I'm doing lives. What size box truck should I be looking for? So I wouldn't get a truck no less than 12 feet 7 inches in clearance height. So that's what the height is of my box truck. When it comes to loads, I may miss a couple of loads. Like if I do OTR runs, there may be some loads that won't fit through my door because of, I think my door clearance is 94 from the door to the floor. I think that height is 94. So certain loads I may not be able to get on my truck. So the ideal height for a box truck, if you get 13.6, that's probably like the sweet spot. You know, 13.1, 13.6, right around there, that's the sweet spot. You're not gonna get too much higher than that when it comes to the clearance height on the box truck and the height that's highly recommended. So my next truck will definitely be 13.6 inches. I'm looking at a Mack truck. And on top of that, I need swing doors for that thing. So they recommend, you know, a lot of shippers like swing doors so that they don't have anything hitting the freight when it goes into the back of the box. So that's definitely on my, you know, customizations that I want to get on my next truck. Swing doors and a great height on that box. These are just some of the questions I want to answer in this video of people, you know, asking, you know, how tall should my box be, or what type of clearance height am I looking for? So my truck, I know my very first truck I bought was 12 feet 1 inches in height. And on that truck, I had issues, you know, with the freight, just with Amazon freight, I had issues because some of the pallets would be stacked so high that I would have to load some of that freight up. Well, the pallets would be stacked so high, I would have to take some of the boxes off in order to get that into the back of my box. So if you don't want them headaches, don't get a truck that's 12 feet 1 inch high. That's a fact right there. That's a gem. I'm saving you some headaches ahead of time. So do not get that clearance height, okay? Another tip when you guys are going over the road, right? Make sure you get a lock for the back of your box truck, because I've known guys that parked their trucks and did not have locks back there. And when they woke up, they was missing a pallet jack. Yes, people steal pallet jacks. So that's definitely something you want to have on the back of your box. And if you're looking at lift gates or wondering what type of lift gate you need to have on that truck, get you a tuck under lift gate. So this is what Amazon recommends. If you plan on doing Amazon Relay, to save headaches and to save you problems when you get out to the facility, get you a tuck under lift gate. Make sure your lift gate is a fold under, tuck under lift gate. That is one of their recommendations. And something that you want to do when you do get your box, right? You want to measure the bottom of the door, the bottom of where your door closes, to the top of the entrance of the box. To the top of the entrance of the box. You want to measure that simply because a lot of shippers or a lot of brokers will ask you, hey, what are the measurements? So you want to measure the inside of your box, the width of it. And then from the bottom of the floor to the top of your ceiling, you want to take those measurements. So these are very, very important measurements that you need to do the minute you get that box truck, okay? And so another tip, you want to make sure that you keep the back of your box clean, right? Especially when you go OTR. A lot of times you will go over the road, and if your box is dirty back here, a lot of shippers will deny you from moving their freight. So if you got a dirty truck back here, they will turn you around. They will cancel the load on you and get another truck, a cleaner truck. So make sure you know that you got the back of your box swept out, at least looking decent. I mean, you don't gotta go get no pressure washer, you don't gotta get no pressure washer done or anything like that, but make sure your box is looking at, you know, decent back there, not looking crazy, all right? Of course, you guys gonna need some straps. If you go to Amazon, I'll make sure I put some, I'll make sure that I drop some links in this video, or you'll see the product button pop up on the video to get these straps. I think I paid about 70 bucks for maybe a box of 10 straps. So you can get some straps. I ordered my pallet jack. I ordered my particular pallet jack from the pallet jack warehouse in Atlanta. That's where I did get this pallet jack from. My first pallet jack I got from, where did I get that from? I don't think it was Harbor Freight. Maybe it was Harbor Freight, but I bought my first pallet jack from, I think, Harbor Freight. And then you want to get you a pallet jack brake stopper. This comes in handy. So you can strap your pallet jack down and also put it on the brake if you like. Sometimes I'll just go ahead and put mine on the pallet brake and I'm good to go. I don't really have to worry about it too much after that. Now, if you do come to a hard stop, that pallet jack with the brake on it may slide forward a little bit. So I would recommend just tying it down along with the pallet jack. Or if you want to strap it across, you know, and strap down your pallet jack, you can. That'll be a lot easier for you. But just for more safety, definitely strap it across along with the pallet brake, all right? So this is why a lot of shippers want swing doors, because you see what happens when you have the roll-up door? It takes up room for them to put certain freight inside of your truck. So this is why a lot of shippers prefer swing doors over roll-up doors, because the roll-up door gets in the way of them loading their freight into the back of your box. Two of the main things to keep your eyes on when in your box truck and running loads. It's very important to do those pre-trips and post-trips, because two things that keep this truck rolling: oil and coolant. So always keep your eye on your coolant levels and your oil level. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to drop this video for you guys, just to give you just a few tips. And like I said before, make sure that you learn how to turn a few wrenches under this truck. Sometimes there may be something small as changing the filters, little things like changing out a sensor. You know, that can save you hundreds of dollars just by changing out a sensor. Hopefully this video helps you guys. Like I said, I will tag the products in this video so that you can just hit the link and it'll take you right over to Amazon and you can pick up these items, all right? It's Tommy Bigg Vic TV, you already know what it is. Always hustle, never stop growing. Until the next video, let's go, let's get it, let's eat.